Okay, we're back. So we added our first select field to the meal plans editing. And I'm just going to go through now and really quickly double check that there aren't any other forms where we want to do that. So this one is Target. This is fine. So new store works great. Ingredient categories. So we'll add a new ingredient category. And this is one that actually could use one of these dropdowns. So I'm going to take our code from before and I'll show you kind of with this copy pasta. So in order to edit this form, we have the new ingredient category details. Are there any instructions? Oh, never mind. Sorry. So we want to update this field. It's the new ingredient category details. So category, ingredient category, form. So here's the form. And here's our copy pasta. We're going to update the store ID field. Again, store is optional, so we have a blank option, but each team has stores. And then you can see how easy this is going to be for us to automate. That's it. Done. So now we have vegetables. In fact, I'm going to cancel. Go back to the vegetables list. And say we want to get our vegetables at Trader Joe's. I'm going to update this. To be honest, we really don't need a show action for this. This would be totally fine. This would be totally fine to just manage on the homepage, but let's just update it anyway. So on the show action for ingredient category, you can see that it is adding the store ID, and what we want to do is add the store name if the store exists, if it's set. So there we go. That's back. Now the reality is I actually don't care about that view at all. Another thing that's bugging me is, and this is apparently a bug in the super scaffolding, I don't like that ingredient categories is written that way. It's supposed to get updated to be human readable, but for some reason it did not. So I'm going to go in. Oh, I know why. Okay. I'm going to file a bug for that. Yeah, because you can see it gets updated in the singular, but not in the plural. So I will, in fact, I'm just going to do that while we're on the phone or while we're recording. So trying to remember what the well, I can't test this right now anyway. What am I doing? That is some yak shaving. So I'll file a bug and fix that later in the framework. In the meantime, we've just updated the YAML file, so now ingredient categories are described as such. Now the other place where we do really want to update that view is so in the same way, if we go and look where this file was, there's also a index partial. And in the index partial, we want to do store try name. And that should use the name of the store. And in fact, what we can do to clean this up in the future is create a link to that store if that's what we wanted to do. In this case, for the sake of time, we'll just move on and clean that up afterwards. So we have an ingredient category. Vegetables get picked up at Trader Joe's, and we can add another ingredient category, which would be like meat. And for meat, we are going to pick that up at Trader Joe's, and then add a new ingredient category, say condiments, and we'll pick those up at Target. You get the idea. And that'll be helpful for creating the shopping list, because the shopping list will be at different stores. All right, so ingredient categories are good to go. Ingredients. Okay, so why? Oh, we can pick up a particular ingredient. So an ingredient, wow, this ingredient we should probably pick up at Amazon or something like that, where we Kraft Dinner is just in a box. The category and store can be selected though. So we already have a good example of this. So we already have this form for the store ID. So here's what we'll do. We'll open up the ingredient form. We'll replace the store ID with our select that we already have. And now we can select, update the ingredient to that store. Edit the ingredient category. We don't have yet, but we can quickly do that. All right. It's not in a category, and then we'll get rid of the original field. So again, real simple. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to the day when we can fully automate this stuff. So we'll say that Kraft Dinner is a vegetable. In fact, I'm going to update it to be carrots. Now we want to update this view like we did before. But actually, in this case, I really don't care, because for, maybe for ingredients, it makes sense to have this. So we'll say store.name if the store is set. And likewise, the ingredient category name if the ingredient category is set. There we go. Carrots from Trader Joe's, and they're a vegetable. All right, here we go. So now we're done with ingredients. We can add a new one, whatever. Great. Our users are not going to need to manage their ingredients. That's something that we're going to get people to do for our users based on the recipe. But here we go. So let's take a look at this recipe. This recipe serves for, oh, this is perfect actually. And there's no real, it doesn't look like there's any connection between the recipes and our Oh, that's because we were editing it. But on here, we have the recipe ingredients. So for Kraft Dinner with bacon, we're going to say that there is a new recipe ingredient detail. The ingredient, all of these need to be a drop down. But these this drop down here is actually special. It's a little different than what we did before. So let me show you how that works. Ingredient is in fact, we'll use this. So for recipe ingredient form, we'll replace the ingredient with so we'll search for ingredient category and replace it with ingredient. And that should do it. Yep. So ingredient bacon, measurement 5, and then the quantity. The quantity is an interesting one. Similar to this, we want quantity, but oh, sorry, not quantity. We're doing the wrong field there. We want measurement to be like an ingredient. But there's a difference. The measurements are the same. They're not from the team. They are the same across the entire system. So there we go. We'll have it. The problem is we haven't added any measurements. So I'm going to go to our seeds file. And I know that I need strips, tablespoons, and teaspoons, and cups, and so on and so forth. And these are our measurements. So I'm just going to go into the console. Done. Now when I reload this page, I can say bacon measurement strips quantity 10. 10 strips of bacon in your Kraft Dinner with bacon. And then let's just update the order. So I'm going to save this, create that recipe ingredient. Oh no. What is the error? This is weird. I'm not sure why it doesn't show the errors. But anyway, okay, so measurement strips bacon. And it won't. All right, let me try to debug this. I'm not sure why it doesn't show the errors as part of but here's how we'll debug it. Give me 1 second. I need to cough. Okay, I'm back. All right, so we'll just take a look real quick at the errors. It's saying that the measurement must exist. I bet you I know what is happening. So we did not update the controller to allow us to send it is still expecting the measurement but it should be measurement ID. I'm not sure how I made that mistake, and I hope this works. It did. So it's a little weird because in this case, I mean, I think really what would be probably good here is if when we made reference to these objects, if we didn't have to call name on them, maybe if their string method automatically use their name. So you can do that. In fact, let's do it just as a demonstration. So for measurement, I can say def 2s, nope, 2s, and you'll see here that it'll change to 10 strips of, and then for ingredient, we can do the same thing. So to say 10 strips of bacon. Perfect. We can figure out the formatting of this string later. That's more of a kind of an interesting detail, or more of a polish item. So 10 strips of ingredient. So we obviously need to update this. Actually, yeah, that works nicely. So 10 strips of bacon. All right, so we can go back to the dashboard. So recipe has, so if we can go here, recipe has a recipe ingredient. Now, for stores, there's no real benefit to being able to look at a store like this, I feel like. So what you could do is when you've edited a store, when it updates the store, it just redirects from here back to here automatically. I'm not 100% sure if that's what I want to do. And obviously there is this link right here. I don't know. Maybe I won't do it for now, but it is a usability thing that you could potentially improve. All right. So ingredients, somehow we didn't update this partial, this index partial for ingredients. So I'm going to do that ingredient, index, and make it so that, and I want to update store and ingredient category so that I'm going to do the same thing as we did for ingredient. I don't know if this is an anti-pattern or what, but maybe it's not a great thing to do for some reason. But now, yeah, in fact, if we had done that sooner, we wouldn't have even had to update these views. So that's something to think about. All right. So in this case, the name of the meal plan is the meal plan. So I'm just going to get rid of that name. So now it's week of this. It says you can edit it, but there's really nothing that you can edit. So you should not be able to edit a meal plan. So a user can view a meal plan. So now they're not even able to get to this form, and won't see edit and delete. You just see your meal plan for the week of, and there we go. So you can see it. You cannot edit it. I'm going to update that show meal plan and get rid of the name. So it's a meal plan for the week of this. Here's the meal plan meals. They can still apparently add, oh, in fact, and they should not be able to add a new meal plan meal. Let's see if we can edit, update. I don't know if this will work. Yeah, so they can't do that. That's good. That button should go away. They should be able to add craft dinner. And it's saying that you are not able to. Oh, the error is that it can't show the meal plan meal. Well, that's no problem. We don't care about that. In fact, it shouldn't even be trying to do that. What we'll do, all right, so we need to kind of change the way meal plan, meal controller, if they're not, we can't wait to come back to the show action. We need to actually change where we redirect after edit and create. There is no create. So you're not allowed to create these things. You're not allowed to create a new one. You're not even allowed to show it. You're only allowed to edit it. And when you try to update it, it will redirect not to the meal plan meal, but the meal plan itself. And likewise, you're not allowed to destroy. So there you go. So now when you update the meal plan, yeah, there we go. So we're good. Now we can update the meal. We're eating craft dinner every day. Oh, meal plans controller. You are not. So we're looking at a meal plan. You are not allowed to see the index of the meal plans. Why? There we go. So they can see the meal plans for the week of. All right, they can go back. Awesome. It takes them where we're supposed to go. You can see their meal plans. So yeah, we're doing pretty well here. And I think I think that's most of the data management stuff that we needed to do. So let's I'm gonna stop there, and then in our last video we'll go through and do just a little bit of testing.